Oh my God, you guys, I can't believe it. 2020 is almost here. Are you ready for this new decade? I know I'm getting really excited about it, and I wanted to start talking about preparing for it now in late 2019. So by the time it's here, we'll be ready to hit the ground running and get a jump start on our dreams right away. So I've decided to make a little mini series of videos for you guys to help you get in the mood of 2020 readiness. And so today is the first video, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 habits for success. So if that sounds good to you, then be sure to keep watching. What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I am a success mindset coach and law of attraction teacher, and this is my YouTube channel where I upload 2 new videos for you guys every week, all about the art of serious up-leveling, manifesting your best life, calling in your dreams, all that good stuff. So if that sounds like something of interest to you, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So as I said at the top of the video, I'm really excited that the end of the year is almost here and 2020 is almost upon us. I feel like this last decade has just flown on by, but it is really an exciting time, and I get really excited around new times of year, including September and January. I love a fresh start. I love getting excited for goals. I love hitting the ground running. I love having a plan for what's to come. And because this is the beginning of a new decade, I feel like I have even more of that energy than normal. So I wanted to spend the last month of this year or so talking about things that can help you to make a difference going into your new year, because you don't have to wait until that weird little week in between Christmas and New Year's to do all that stuff. And actually, I think it's better to start doing it now, because honestly, that week in between Christmas and New Year's, I'm usually eating a lot of junk food and not really wanting to do much with my life, right? So it's better for you guys, or better for me at least, to start thinking about this stuff in advance. And I know the temptation for this time of year is to start to slack a little bit, to start to dip into the Christmas cookies a little bit, and to start to, have a few more eggnogs than normal. But there's still so much time to do amazing things for yourself. There's still so much time to start planning and dreaming and getting a jump start on things. So I wanted to put together this series to help you guys get in the mood and to get really, really ready for the year that's coming ahead. So this is the first of my little mini series of videos, and I've got a lot of things coming for you in this last 6 weeks or so of the year. So stay tuned. We are going to go on a little journey of 2020 preparedness. So I hope that this is exciting for you, and I hope that you guys stick around. So I'm going to kick off my Slate 2020 series with today's video, which is 5 habits for success. And yes, I'm making these videos with the idea to inspire you for 2020 and beyond, but obviously whenever you happen to be watching this video is a good time for these habits. Success can begin at any moment in time, so why not begin right now whenever you happen to be watching this? It doesn't matter what you're after in life. It doesn't matter who you are in life. Habits for success are something that is going to help you no matter if you are a college student, or you're an entrepreneur, or you are a mom, a stay-at-home mom. Success habits are something that we can all benefit from. And this is like mindset stuff. This is a little bit of woo-woo manifestation stuff, because it wouldn't be me if it wasn't. But all of this stuff I really hope will come together and to help you get a clearer picture of how you can begin to kick off this decade in the best possible way. So let's get started with tip number 1. Tip number 1 is simply to start saying yes to yourself. And I have a couple of points I wanted to talk about with this one. But the most important point that I wanted to say off the bat is to really start saying yes to your dreams and start saying yes to your desires. I've talked about this on this channel before, and I've definitely talked about this on my blog before, but there are so many times that we have this brilliant idea or this brilliant vision or a brilliant dream or something for our future that gets us really excited. But before we even have a chance to write it down, to start making a plan for it, then our negative voice starts to kick in. We all have this inner negative critic that loves to poo-poo everything that it finds a little bit too intimidating or too big or too out there. And that voice might show up and pretend that it's logic, or that it's telling you to be reasonable or realistic or all of these things. But really, that voice is just trying to make you play small, and it is not letting you step into your full power as a conscious creator here on planet Earth. Your desires are here for you. I firmly and powerfully believe in that. So I challenge you to start listening to your desires right now. What is really lighting you up? What do you want in life? And don't be tempted to edit them. Don't be tempted to change any of them because you're worried about what your husband or your best friend or your parents or your boss or whoever might think, okay? At the end of the day, you are here for your life. You are the only one at the beginning and the only one at the end. And every time I say that, I know people are like, oh, that's horrible. But actually, it's very liberating. You are only here to make you happy. And of course, we want to have great relationships with people and we want to live life with lots of wonderful people in our world. But you're not here to make other people happy. You are here to make you happy at the end of the day. And that begins by saying yes to the things that light up your soul. So what lights up your soul? What are you intrigued by? What crazy, beautiful life would make you feel like you are so happy to be here on earth? And like asking yourself these questions and letting yourself dream a little bit is such a powerful thing to do. So if you don't know what your soul wants, and if you're not used to asking yourself these kinds of questions, it's all the more important for you to begin to do that. So just start saying yes to yourself. Start saying yes to these things, to these ideas, to these little bubbles of inspiration, and see where they begin to lead you, because you might just be surprised at what you stumble into if you start listening to your soul. So that is tip number 1 for you guys. Success habit number 2 for you guys to slay in 2020 and beyond is to create a kick-ass daily routine. So this one sounds a little bit more boring, but actually there's a lot of magic in routines if you allow there to be. So a routine is really, it's not as boring as it sounds. A routine is actually, you can think of it like a safe container for the things in life that you hold most valuable to you, okay? So the analogy I always like to use is that there are lots of people out there wandering around town in their Lululemon pants, pretending that they're into this healthy lifestyle when really they haven't gone to the gym in the last 6 months and they're at home eating Doritos on the sofa every night. And it's totally fine if you aren't really into the healthy lifestyle, if you're not trying to take that on as part of your personality or saying that that's important to you. But there are a lot of people out there who claim to be really interested in health and fitness and all that stuff that aren't actually following through and living the life. And I don't mean that you have to, like, you know, become a raw vegan overnight or go paleo or go to the gym for 7 hours every day. Of course, there is a huge range of how to be healthy and how to be more well in your life. But the point that I'm trying to make is that if these things are not part of your normal daily routine, then they're actually probably not that important to you, or they are causing you distress because you are not making them important to you. You're probably sitting around at home feeling guilty for not doing the things that you know you should be doing, and that can waste so much time and energy in itself. So if there's something in your life that you find very valuable, that you really think is important, then make sure it is part of your daily routine. That is all creating a kick-ass routine is really about. Safeguarding the things that are actually important to you. So you've got to ask yourself, what's important to you? What do you want to make sure you spend your time on every day? That could be journaling, meditating, creating a manifestation routine. It could be going for a run every morning, going to the gym. It could be calling a friend every day. It could be all kinds of different things. So think about what's missing from your life that you want to be part of your life, and really work on making those things a habit, because once they are a habit, then that's when you know that they are really integrated into your life and they're not just like optional things that you have a lot of practice saying no to throughout the week. So think about that. Think about what you need to create in your routine to double down on the things that are important in your life. And that is tip number 2. So tip number 3 for you guys, this one might be a little bit controversial, a little bit out there. It is all about creating consequences for yourself. So we just talked about routines and habits and doing the things that you want to do in your life. But what happens when you don't do those things? So I want you guys to think about this. If you have a kid or if you're a parent already and you are trying to create values for your kids, and you're trying to create habits in your kids, and you're trying to create discipline in your kids, how do you go about doing that? Well, first of all, you make very clear what you want your kids to do. You set up expectations. You know exactly what you want them to do. So that would go back to the routines that we just talked about. But you also have a system in place for what happens when they don't do the things that you want them to do, right? Like there is a consequence to their actions. So this is kind of the way that we have to behave with ourselves as adults. And this is where it gets a little bit controversial, because people are like, well, why would I want to punish myself for not doing something? And the point is that you really want to do something. And the point is that we all have this inner, really cozy, lazy part of ourselves that really doesn't want to do anything. And until you take something and make it part of your daily routine, part of your brain is going to be fighting you all the way there. Part of you is going to be telling you, oh, you don't really need to go to the gym today, or it doesn't really matter if you eat a salad at lunch, you might as well get the burger, or it doesn't really matter if you show up for your mom tonight, or your friends, or your kids, or whoever. It doesn't really matter. You just shouldn't bother. Part of your brain is so good at doing that. As we all know, part of our brain is constantly trying to talk us out of things, even the things that we really want. So you need to get around that. You need to understand that part of you is this incredibly lazy creature that is going to try to get out of everything, and create a consequence for yourself. So set up a little punishment system for yourself so that when you miss something, you don't get something else, or you have to do something else that you don't want to do. So that would mean, I would like to create like a positive consequence if I could. So if I went to the gym every day, 5 days in a row, which is my goal for the week, for example, that I get to go get a manicure or a massage after. So that could be not a negative consequence, but like a reward at the end of it. So at least I get something out of it. And then if I don't do it, I don't get the reward. But maybe it could be, you know, donating money to something, donating time to something, doing something that you don't want to do when you don't show up for yourself. So get creative and think about, you know, the things in life that you really want to make yourself start doing, and then start to create a routine of consequences for yourself as if you are a little 5-year-old kid. Because we all need to have that like inner parent as well as our wild inner lazy child version of ourselves, right? We need to learn how to parent ourselves through until things become normal and habit and routine. And then that is how you really create a fail-safe in the things that you want to do in your life. Tip number 4 for habits for success to slay 2020 and beyond is to learn how to keep promises to yourself. So this also kind of goes back to the consequences that we were just talking about. But building self-trust is actually a huge part of building self-confidence. So when people suffer from low confidence, I would be willing to bet that most of the time, these are also people that routinely forget to show up for themselves, that routinely say they're going to do something and then don't do it, that routinely, you know what they really want in life, but continue to make excuses and go back, let the lazy kid inside of them win the arguments, right? So when you can't trust yourself, when you can't trust your words, when you can't even trust the things that you're saying in the world, that creates a problem, right? It creates cognitive dissonance inside your brain. And it creates that feeling of like, well, I'm never going to do it, so why should I even bother? I'm never going to try. I'm never going to actually succeed. I'm never going to get anywhere, so why even bother? And that is a really dangerous place to live. So I want you guys to think about your promises to yourself in a new way. Do not make them optional. So many of us make them optional. So many of us think that because we're just talking to ourselves and this is all just stuff in our brain, that none of it really matters. But it does really matter. Showing up for yourself really, truly matters. And it matters in more ways than you realize. So when part of your brain is trying to convince you to stay at home and stay in bed and not go for the run at 6 a.m., like that might seem like a very reasonable thing to do. But over time, you're going to realize that you're letting yourself down. You're going to realize that, you know, your aim to be this person that works out all the time isn't being fulfilled. And it's going to create an even more negative self-image of yourself. You're going to be judging yourself. You're going to be calling yourself probably names in your head and creating a more hostile environment inside of you. And none of that needs to actually happen. Again, these last 3 tips that I'm talking about now are all really about just your ability to show up for yourself, because if you can't show up for yourself, who can you show up for? Again, you are here to live your best life. You are here to figure out what you want in life and to make those crazy, beautiful dreams happen. And there is not going to be any way for you to do that if you can't trust your own words. If you are the person that says, oh, I'm going to enter the marathon this year, and then you never do it, you are creating a system of distrust. You are learning over time never to trust anything you put out there. And again, that's a really damaging way to live because it will breed complacency. It will erode your trust in yourself. It'll make you think that everything that you think of or that you want doesn't really matter when it should matter so much. So developing self-trust, being true to your word, showing up on your promises to yourself, that is tip number 4. And it really is such a big key of creating an amazing life no matter who or what you are. My 5th and final habit to create success in 2020 and beyond. Let's get out there and slay 2020, you guys. And this last success tip is simply all about persistence. It's about getting back up and trying again. And this is a big one, I think, especially in January, because we all rush into January with all these amazing resolutions, with all these amazing ideas for ourselves. And what usually happens every year? Usually we set these crazy expectations for ourselves and we're like, we're gonna lose 20 pounds and I'm gonna become raw vegan and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And then by the 3rd week of January, we've already disappointed ourselves and completely fallen off of the train, right? Does that sound familiar? Drop a hell yeah in the comments below if you know what that feels like. I'm not here to tell you that you're going to do everything perfectly every time. What I'm here to tell you in this tip is that yes, you are probably going to fall off the rails. Yes, you are probably going to have a bad day. Yes, you are probably going to fall back into your old habits, and that is totally okay. So what the real problem here is that we are used to acting in life in a certain way, and it's going to take a bit of time and training for us to become this person who has all of these new habits and all of these new things that they do regularly as part of their daily routine. It's going to take a little bit of time for you to become this other person where you can put all this stuff like actually on routine and not think about it, not have this war every morning when you get up about whether I'm going to do it or not, right? So I don't want you to expect to fail the entire experiment, but I want you to expect that yes, you will fall off the wagon. Yes, you are going to make mistakes. Yes, it's not going to all happen perfectly, because when you understand that, then that means it's okay. Most people set this crazy expectation for themselves, like I'm gonna go to the gym 5 days a week and I'm only gonna eat this and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and they set a whole bunch of expectations for themselves for one thing, which is a problem because changing too many things at once usually ends in failure because you don't know where to put your energy and attention. But when they start to feel like a failure, when it gets to week 3 and then they, order the Domino's pizza and ice cream and had a night staying in on the sofa instead of going to the gym, then they start to have this feeling of self-loathing and self-hatred and coming back to that helpless feeling of, oh, I shouldn't bother, it's never gonna work for me, look at me, I'm such a failure, etc., etc., etc. So they let that one night, that 1 week moment derail all their efforts, and then they don't go back to the gym. And that's why when you get to February, the gym is basically back to its normal amount of people after the January rush, right? People give up so easily on themselves, but we don't give ourselves the opportunity to mess up and to keep going. So I want you guys to understand that it is totally okay, no matter what habits you are trying to create, no matter what kind of life you're trying to create for yourself. Understand that sometime you might fall off the wagon. Sometime you might not do the thing you want to do. And sometimes that might be a week that you don't do what you want to do. But the most important thing at the end of the day is that you still commit to yourself, that you still commit to changing, and then you come back and you start again. Every single day is a fresh start. Every single day gives you an opportunity to do something new with your life. So it doesn't matter if yesterday you messed up. It doesn't matter if you didn't do things perfectly. It doesn't matter if you missed a day or 3 or 5 or 7. It doesn't matter. It only matters that you come back to it and that you start again, start over, start again, start over, start again. And do not beat yourself up for occasionally falling back into your old habits. It isn't about willpower. You guys, I know people think that we can will ourselves into changing, but what this whole thing is, what this whole success habit routine thing is really about creating a way for you to put these things in your subconscious mind and to create a new identity for yourself. And it takes some time for that to become true. And in the meantime, when you're still in the process of becoming, when these habits haven't become concrete yet, like you are struggling a little bit, like will I or won't I, will I or won't I, will I or won't I. We're gonna get to this point eventually where there is no will I or won't I, it's just I do this, this is who I am, right? So in the meantime, when you're in this fuzzy haze time, when you're not quite there yet, you have to be easy on yourself. You have to understand that messing up might happen, and you have to just keep going. Do not throw the whole experiment away because of one bad day or a bad week. The most important thing is that you continue to show up and commit to what you want in life. And that's really the best way for you to get past this hump of being in between here and there and not quite being the person you want to be yet. Like, you are going to get there. All you have to do is just keep going. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. Get back on the horse. Do not let it derail you. So please keep that in mind. You are human. No one gets this perfect. And you get a do-over. You get a bunch of do-overs, actually. So please just keep doing over and recommitting to yourself, and eventually it will stick. So that's it for today's video. What did you guys think about this one? And are you guys excited for 2020? Are you as excited as I am? I really hope these 5 habits for success help you to shift and change the way you see the world. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really hope that you enjoyed these 5 success habit tips for 2020 and beyond. If you liked this video, please do me a favor and give it a like. And if you want to learn more about me, come on over to my website. I'll leave a link in the description box below, but I have a free Magical AF audio download for you guys to grab over there if you sign up for updates. If you want to hang out a little more with me, then you can go ahead right here and watch my latest upload video here, or you can hang out even more with me and hit the subscribe button right here. Other than that, I'll be back here in the next one. So until then, I'm wishing you a magical week of massive transformation and success. And as always, just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.